So with lateral epicondylalgia or epicondylitis, what that basically means is, the other term is tennis elbow, and you're gonna have pain like right along in this spot right here, okay? Typically comes with tennis, with a lot of backhand, just a lot of pain with some of the muscles that attach to this area here, which is called your lateral epicondyle. I'm going to show you a few soft tissue interventions that you guys can do. You see I've got quite a few tools here. I'm actually going to start with probably the easiest one. This is going to come in handy with you guys. It's just a massage gun. Now I will say that sometimes you get what you pay for. This one ranges from around $200 to about $450. And again, if you're going to go for the cheap side, you're probably going to end up being very disappointed with it. I typically use what would be more of the bullet style tip. I'm just going to turn that on. And where I'm going to work is most of the extensors, like I said before, along your forearm are going to be the ones that you're going to want to work on. The reason I'm using the bullet tip is it allows me to get right into that area without hitting that bony attachment area, because when you do that, you can kind of see how bouncy it gets there. So this allows me to have a little bit more of a fine point to it. Now if I want to work more of a broad area, there's going to be one that's like a flathead that I'll use. If I'm going to do something like this, I may do this before tennis, but I also may do it after tennis. And again, what it's doing is it's just kind of calming down some of the nervous system around here to help mitigate some of your pain, okay? This is one option. I show you this one because it's literally the easiest one, okay? Another option you guys can do is what's called Graston technique, or what we call instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. Now, this is what I use in the office. I call this my charcuterie knife. You can easily just use a spoon, okay? So I'm just gonna use the blunt end of the spoon, and I'm gonna put some lotion in this area. I don't need a ton. And it can be really any lotion. If you wanna use like BioFreeze or something like that, that's another option that you can do. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spread that on there like so. And again, I'm just going to move right across that attachment site. And where this helps out the most is where those tendons attach to this lateral epicondyle. Okay? I may do it in a couple different specific ranges, like I may bend my elbow and work a little bit more in there. You can work more down below along this area here where some more of the extensors are. Some people even tend to feel it up in the tricep area. So these are all specific areas that you can hit with this or the massage gun in terms of working that area, okay? Again, I'm going to use something a little bit more specific for it. It's just got different contours that allow me to get to different areas, but spoon works just as fine, okay? Next option you can do is this is a lacrosse ball. It's a little bit harder than, let's say, a tennis ball. So if this is maybe too much pressure, my rule of thumb is always if you're making a funny face or holding your breath, you're probably pressing too hard. Go to something lighter. I'm just gonna pin that area right in between. So again, lateral epicondyle, and here's where most of my forearm muscles kind of meet. So I'm gonna pin it right in that area here, and I can go up and down or side to side and kind of work some of those muscular areas, okay? If I want to, I can even pin that area and start to do circles with my wrist. What that does is that's obviously moving a lot of my extensor muscles here. So think of it almost like if you've had ART before, active release therapy. This is another way to kind of just do it yourself, okay? Another way to do that is you can use the handle of a kettlebell and pin and do the same thing, okay? Another way that you can do this very easily is just by using your hands. I'm going to take that area of my lateral epicondyle, I'm going to come right off of that into that groove, and I'm just going to reach down, and that stretches out those tissues, okay? So I kind of come off ridge, push down into that area, and then I'm going to flex my wrist because that stretches out my extensors, and by proxy that stretches out most of these extensor muscles, okay? You find a few areas with that as well. Most of this stuff you're going to do around like 1 to 3 minutes. The last one I'm going to show you, it's a little bit more of a broad contact, but you can just easily use your foam roller and do the same thing. Okay? These are things that I would probably do either before tennis, just to kind of warm up and bring some blood flow to the area, or you could also do it from a rehab standpoint after tennis as like a cool down. Okay? Try them out, like I said, a couple minutes. I may do it, again, a couple times a day. You don't want to go too hardcore on it, especially if you notice that it's actually making the pain worse. Okay?